This first story was submitted to us by Sam, a night shift cleaning worker who experienced the event of alternate reality. Enjoy the story. Title: The Mirror Door. Have you ever looked into a mirror and felt like your reflection hesitated just a moment too long? Like, it didn't move when you did? That happened to me, and it changed my life forever. My name's Sam. I used to work the night shift cleaning high-rise office buildings downtown. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. Most nights were uneventful: quiet halls, empty conference rooms, just me, my cart, and the hum of fluorescent lights. I liked the stillness. There was something calming about being alone in a place built for noise and business. That was until the night I cleaned the 33rd floor. This particular floor was reserved for high-level executives. I usually cleaned it once a week, and even then only after midnight when I was sure no one would be around. That night everything seemed normal, until I entered the executive restroom. It was spotless, but I always gave everything a once-over. I sprayed the mirrors, wiped them down, and that's when I noticed something odd. My reflection wasn't quite right. At first I thought I was just tired. Maybe it was the lighting or the chemicals. But as I stood there staring at myself, I realized something deeply unsettling. My reflection wasn't mirroring me. It had frozen, staring back at me with an expression I wasn't making. I slowly lifted my arm. My reflection stayed still for just a second too long, then mimicked me. Not naturally, deliberately, like it was thinking about it. My stomach dropped. A chill ran up my spine. I laughed nervously and backed away. But that's when it smiled. I didn't. I froze. That thing, in the mirror, it smiled first. Suddenly, the mirror's surface shimmered like water being stirred. Before I could react, a force yanked me forward. My body slammed against the glass and passed through it. And then, everything went silent. I was standing in the exact same bathroom, same stalls, same lights, same floor. But something was off. The air felt thicker, colder. The hum of the lights was just a little lower, like it was being played at half speed. I turned around, expecting to see the mirror, but there was nothing, just a blank wall. Panic set in. I ran out into the hallway. The office looked the same, but sterile, lifeless. No computers on, no papers, just perfectly clean, perfectly empty desks. I looked out the window and the city skyline was twisted. Buildings were crooked, the stars were wrong. I heard footsteps behind me. I turned and saw myself, my exact self, walking calmly down the hallway, straightening his tie. He looked at me then, smirked. Then he walked into the elevator and disappeared. I ran to the elevator, pounding the buttons. It didn't move. None of the lights came on. I sprinted to the stairwell, flew down 33 flights, burst into the lobby, and stopped dead in my tracks. The lobby was filled with people, hundreds of them, all wearing the same black suits, all standing perfectly still, all facing the front doors, except the doors were bricked over. Not glass, not wood. Solid bricks. I backed away, heart hammering, when all at once every person turned to look at me. They didn't move. They didn't blink. They just stared. I bolted through a side door and ended up in a copy room. I barricaded myself in there for what felt like hours. No phone, no windows. I stared at my reflection in the chrome copier, wondering what the hell was happening. And then I heard the voice. It sounded like mine, whispering, right behind my ear. "You don't belong here." I whipped around. Nothing, just the door. Then the lights began to flicker. I braced myself, and the copier turned on by itself. It printed a single sheet of paper. My hand shook as I picked it up. It was a photo of me, smiling, wearing a suit, standing at the head of the executive boardroom. My reflection had taken my place. Somehow, that version of me stepped through the mirror and traded places, and I've been trapped in this empty, twisted version of my world ever since. I don't eat. I don't sleep. I don't age. Time doesn't work the same here. But I can still see into the other side. There are mirrors everywhere. And sometimes, when you're brushing your teeth or fixing your hair, you might feel like something is watching you. That's probably because it is, and maybe, just maybe, that reflection you see is me, waiting for my turn to come back. If you ever see your reflection smile before you do, run. Because once you switch places, there's no going back. Story 2, Grandpa's Radio. This story was submitted to us by Elena Ramirez from New Mexico. She wrote in to share a chilling encounter with her grandfather's old radio and an alternate reality that might still be trying to pull her in. I was cleaning out the attic last fall after my mom passed. That's when I found Grandpa's radio, the one he used to listen to every evening in his study. Heavy, dusty, and totally dead. Or so I thought. Just for the memory, I plugged it in. Static crackled to life. I turned the dial, and that's when I heard it. Elena? My heart skipped. It was his voice. He's been gone for over 8 years. The voice continued. Calm, as if we were mid-conversation. Don't go outside tonight, just don't. I backed away. A prank? An old recording? But the attic had no Wi-Fi, no signal, no speakers nearby. I turned the radio off. The room fell silent. Then, knocking. Not on the attic door, on the window. I live on the 3rd floor. I peeked through the dusty glass and saw me, standing in the driveway. Same hoodie, same jeans, same face, waving, not smiling. Just watching. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. A text popped up. You didn't listen. I dropped the radio. It shattered. The voice stopped. The next morning, everything looked normal. But now, when I walk past mirrors or shop windows, I always check the reflections carefully because sometimes the reflection doesn't move when I do. And I think it's still waiting. Story 3, The Wrong Apartment. This story was submitted to us by Jordan M., a college student living in Chicago. What happened to him one late night still haunts him, and might make you double-check your apartment door. It was around 2 a.m. when I came home from a late study session at the library. I was exhausted, earbuds in, hoodie up. I barely looked at anything. I just went straight up to my apartment on the 5th floor. When I opened the door, I noticed something immediately. The smell. It was sterile, like a hospital, and cold. Much colder than it should have been. I chalked it up to the heating being out, dropped my bag, went to the kitchen. That's when I saw the photo on the fridge. It was me. But I don't remember taking it. In the picture, I'm standing with a woman I've never met, smiling, arms around her, like we're dating. I turned around, and she was there, standing at the end of the hallway. Her voice was soft. You're home early. I didn't respond, just stared. She looked almost right, but her eyes were too wide. Her smile never faded. I mumbled, I think I have the wrong apartment, and backed out slowly. She tilted her head. You always say that. I bolted. Down the hall, down the stairs. All the way to the lobby, the doorman stared at me like I was a stranger. Can I help you? He asked. Yeah, I panted. I live in 5B. He frowned. Sir, we don't have a 5th floor. This building only has 4. Jordan never found that apartment again, and sometime late at night. He says he hears knocking at his door, faint, rhythmic, like someone waiting to be let back in. Story 4, The Hallway That Shouldn't Exist. This story was submitted by Kendra S., who used to work overnight security at a local museum. What she experienced during one of her routine patrols still keeps her up at night. It was supposed to be a normal shift, check the cameras, walk the halls, and make sure no one broke in. Around 3 odd a.m., the monitors started flickering. All the feeds showed static except for one, camera 9. That hallway wasn't familiar. Long, narrow, endless rows of doors. Thing is, there is no camera 9. Confused, I went to check it out, in person. I thought maybe the system was just glitching, but I needed to be sure. I walked the usual route. Then I saw it. A door in the east wing where there shouldn't be one. Plain, unmarked, and slightly open. Inside was the hallway from the camera. Exactly the same. I called out, "Anyone there?" No answer. But one of. The doors halfway down slowly creaked open. I know I should have left, but something pulled me in. The moment I stepped inside, the door slammed behind me. I turned back. It was gone. No handle. No frame. Just a solid wall. I walked down the hallway. Every door looked the same. I tried opening them. Most were locked, except one. Inside was an exact replica of the museum's security office. But it was wrong. Dusty. Abandoned. The screens showed footage of me standing in the hallway. But I wasn't moving, just standing, watching. Then the radio on the desk crackled. "Kendra, do not let her out." I backed away, ran down the hallway. Story 5. My friend's face changed overnight. This story was submitted to us by Tyler J., a college freshman who moved into the dorms just a few months ago. What happened to his roommate is something he still can't explain, and probably never will. College was overwhelming at first, but I got lucky with my roommate, David. We hit it off fast. Same classes, same games, same twisted sense of humor. We spent late nights talking about everything: movies, conspiracies, dreams. He felt like someone I'd known for years. Then something changed. It started with little things. His voice, for example. It sounded just a bit off. A slight delay, like an echo behind his words. His favorite foods? Suddenly hated them. He said pizza made him nauseous. Pizza. David used to inhale entire boxes. Then one night he asked me something weird. If I disappeared, would you know it wasn't me? I laughed it off. Thought he was messing with me. But the next morning, David was different. His face looked the same, mostly. But the eyes? Too symmetrical. No warmth. Like glass. His laugh sounded like someone mimicking David's laugh. Close, but not right. I asked him if he was okay. He just smiled and said, "I'm better now. I understand more." I told myself I was just being paranoid. Stress, exams, late nights. Then I got a text from David's number. "Help me, don't trust the one in the room." I froze. He was in the kitchen when I got it. I looked at him. He was staring at me. Not blinking, just smiling. Story 6. The Stranger Who Looked Like Daniel. This story was submitted to us by Zayn Malik from Ontario, Canada. He wrote about a terrifying experience with a childhood friend, and a face he swears wasn't human anymore. It started last summer during a camping trip, just me and my best friend Daniel. We'd been close since middle school, same games, even the same taste in horror movies. We set up camp deep in the woods, no phone signals, just stars and silence. That night, Daniel went out to get firewood while I stayed behind roasting marshmallows. He was gone longer than expected. Almost 40 minutes. When he finally came back, something was off. His walk was weird, stiff, like he wasn't used to his own body. I joked, "You get lost or something?" He just stared. Didn't laugh. Didn't even blink. I brushed it off. Maybe he was tired. But when he sat down, I got a clear look at his face in the firelight. It wasn't his. It looked like him, but slightly off. The nose a little longer. The eyes too wide. The smile too sharp. Like someone was wearing his face and hadn't fitted it quite right. He didn't speak all night. He just watched me, all the way until I fell asleep. I woke up to whispering. He was talking to himself, or at least, to something, in a low voice I couldn't understand. I pretended to sleep. That morning, he was back to normal, laughing, joking like nothing happened. But I knew. I know that whatever came back from the woods that night wasn't Daniel. A week later, his family said he went missing, vanished while hiking alone. But I saw him, again, just a few days ago.